Hello, Maverick traders. Welcome out to your market roundup for December 2nd. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving weekend. Let's jump back into things. So, we're always going to take a look at meaningful news in the markets. We're going to look at sectors, what's heating up, what's cooling off, and then highlight our very best ideas, generally trading with the trend.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So today, as we come off of the Thanksgiving holiday, a little bit of a quiet day. Dow and S&P flat. The Nasdaq was up 1%, which was certainly the outperformer, led by Tesla and Meta, formerly known as Facebook. Oil and gold both down just shy of 1%. So daily news, markets hit new all-time highs today. What I would be watching for is basically volatility fades. And what that means is when it's just a quiet ho-hum day, no big deal. But when there's a volatility day, meaning a day where the market's up or down 1.5%, 2%, a big volatility day, watch for those to be faded, to not have the typical follow through. So you'll see a lot of light volume pushes on the market, but they're not anything that really has follow through and really has conviction. So if you see a big up day in the markets, probably not that day you don't fade it, but within the next couple of days you kind of fade it back down. Or say there's a big volatility down day, wait a couple of days and then fade it to go right back up. Where there's a lack of follow through in this type of environment into year end is very likely. Advanced decline line 50-50. Again, not much happening in broader equities today. The 50 period moving average, you can see most things are trending up, about 2/3 of stocks in a nice upward trend. So as you look at the S&P chart, you'd say, well, everything looks pretty good and we just broke to new highs. What does a volatility day look like? Well, at least something like this in candle size, here. If there's any big size candle, normally you'd expect follow through. But say there's a big green candle here, usually there'd be kind of a little bit more push and then it would fade back in. Or say there's a big red candle, maybe just a slight another day and then fades right back up. So I would be inclined to fade a lot of the reactions into this. NASDAQ might give us that because we're right up pressed against resistance. Maybe the NASDAQ fuels S&P to the upside tomorrow. And I'm watching for it more in the S&P more than anything else, more in the broad-based. If you were picking a certain sector, there could be a little bit more follow through. But in equities in general, I'd expect choppiness into year end. Now, Tesla, huge outperformance. Meta, these are big market cap weightings and, of course, drove the markets higher overall, specifically the NASDAQ. You can see, though, there's an awful lot of red. Red in real estate and utilities, and red in industrials, and red over here in the financials. You'd look at this and say, well, maybe the most important stocks, the biggest market cap weighted, were green, but there was an equal amount of selling at least. So as we look at markets, we're clearly in this bullish upward trend, but would I expect us to surge into year end and have an explosive upside market? I would not. I would anticipate some give back and, on sharp rallies to give that back and to remain choppy at about these levels for the next few weeks. Now, let's look at some bullish and bearish candidates. First up on the bullish side, we had a few listed there, but you can see Carnival. Looking at an individual stock basis, there can be follow through. So high base, nice breakout, should be a little more upside here. Shopify, here's one where I would look for maybe this to turn into a little bit of a dip and then another break to new high. So I would be inclined to kind of look at another day or so of selling to be maybe a buy the dip as long as it stays shallow right here. If it starts to become a deeper pullback, then I would be less interested. But uh, really looks pretty solid. On the bearish side, we've got Pfizer. You can see the breakdown zone on volume. It's coming up and retesting the old kiss goodbye and starting to roll over. Pfizer could easily work its way down towards those prior lows here over the next couple of weeks. And Newmont Mining, the gold miners overall really, really lagging in terms of performance back to those lows. We actually had highlighted a pretty nice sideways trade in Newmont that worked out with that expiration for a butterfly in the trading room. But now I would just see lower prices as likely. It did base, it did go sideways as we had anticipated here, but now I would just look at that as a bearish candidate. Watch for volatility fades. We've got the payrolls report on Friday. The volatility spikes could be anything causing it. Fed Chair Powell speaks on Wednesday. That could cause a little volatility. It could be technical. It could be the payrolls. But the question is, do market participants want to do big, big things into year end? We've had a strong year. So do they want to sell stocks aggressively and have to pay taxes on those gains? No. So there's not a lot of selling follow through. Do they want to buy stocks up and really go gung-ho for more upside and push the gas? No, they don't really want to do that either. And so that's where you get this dynamic where I think you'll get fades, you'll get reactions, but not a whole lot of follow through would be my expectation. So Salesforce, Dollar Tree, Lululemon, Marvell, still some companies reporting earnings coming through. Hope you enjoyed the market roundup and have a great week as we move into the December holiday season. Expect some lighter volumes. Expect the markets to be pushed, but kind of just purely based on light volume, not on the follow through. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next time.